is a very cool early 17th century bottle, but not just an ordinary bottle. The fact that they're just sitting here is amazing.
And we literally just got this bottle.
As again, this just arrived in the mail and we're starting to do the research. What have you found out so far?
Mine was the first and the last to capture such a large part of a Spanish silver fleet from America.
Come on. I'm not making this up. There's more to that one, especially when it connects a treasure fleet. Now you really have my attention. This is super cool.
Wait, what do we have on the tray today?
You're right. Okay, what we have on the tray today. This is a very cool early 17th century bottle, but not just an ordinary bottle. It's very dark, but you can see that this is all intricately painted. And it depicts what I'm hoping, because again, this just arrived in the mail and we're starting to do the research. What have you found out so far?
Funny you should ask. Well, so the image, the portrait, is a lieutenant admiral named Pieter Pietrez Hein.
Bless you.
Yeah. So he was a Dutch admiral and privateer for the Dutch Republic during the 80 Years' War between the United Provinces and Spain.
Ooh, I like this. Okay.
Hein was the first and the last to capture such a large part of a Spanish silver fleet from America.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not making this up. He's reading. Where are you reading this from? Is this Wikipedia?
So, if you want, this is the guy.
And that's a dead ringer. You can hardly see it. And you're probably wondering, why is this so dark? I'm guessing that this bottle probably sat in a tavern and all the smoke, the soot, the buildup, it has completely just darkened this oil portrait that's painted on this bottle. So now I'm scratching my head going, should we conserve this to see what kind of other detail will be revealed? Or do we leave it alone? See, this is the issue.
Be something for you guys in the audience to vote on. Should we have it conserved and restored, or do we leave it alone?
And this is what we're always faced with coins. If we just clean it here, we're going to make it better. Well, that's usually the kiss of death. You just generally want to leave it alone. But this is a different circumstance because this is a painting. And a lot of original 17th century Old Masters paintings go through very, very extensive, rehabs to bring out the colors and take away all that nasty cigarette soot and other smoke and whatnot. And I got to say, if it's done right, it's worth it.
But, this was probably in a tavern with, full of smoke, fireplaces, wood burning, stoves, whatnot. And on the back, I noticed there is looks like a coat of arms, but it's hard to decipher, what the design features are on it.
And what we're talking about is this area right here. And there is a little shield and there's something within, but again, I'm going to have to look under magnification and maybe a black light and a couple other lights just to see what's there, what I can pull out.
So Sean, what do you call this type of a bottle?
Okay, so some will classify it as a horse hoof, which again, it kind of looks like a horse hoof. They're also, they're Dutch.
A hoof or a hoof?
Hey, tomato, whatever, cavalry, cow, anyway, but they call them, the Dutch onion bottles. And again, we bought this out of Holland. And of course, we kept our fingers crossed going, oh my God, please don't break. Please don't break. It got here in one piece, and now the fun begins. But this is just the beginning. I am kind of familiar with these, and I want to show you one that I've kept in my collection that kind of knock your eyes out. So here is a painted Dutch onion bottle, and you can tell much larger in size, but this depicts a naval battle scene, but it's also... Here's the guy, and it's dated. You know how I am about things that are dated. And this one, ironically, is dated 1673. I mean, this is, and again, you want to talk about the cool factor?
Well, first I want to ask you what kind of contents would typically be, stored in these types of bottles?
Liquors, typically you want to say, well, rum and whatnot, really was any kind of alcoholic beverage, or sometimes anything of liquid would fit in this. And it was up to whoever owned the bottle, but traditionally it was spirits, rums and whatnot.
And these are hand-blown?
Hand-blown bottles, and no two are identical. They did it based on form. But again, there was a timeline where you can just tell by the overall form of the bottle where it fits date-wise, plus or minus, say, 20, 30 years. And again, these are 17th century, and, the fact that this one is dated, which is really nice, but, the fact that they're still here and they're not in a million pieces.
Right.
Because they're so fragile.
So in your opinion, how do these bottles rank on the cool factor?
Again, for me, and again, this is all personal preference, but this to me is almost at the top as a 10 because it's got it all. It's a cross collectible. It's not only just a bottle from the 17th century, it's now got an old master's quality painting on it. It's dated like a coin. So it's kind of the trifecta of those quality points that elevates it to the top. Whereas now if this one is rare on its own, because of the now history that you just found out in 3 seconds, right? Mm-hmm. But because it doesn't have a date, that is kind of a little bit of a ding. Sure. But can you believe we're even having this conversation where we have 2 intact pieces and now we're critiquing them and pointing out the pros and cons? I mean, the fact that they're just sitting here is amazing.
And we literally just got this bottle.
Yeah.
So we didn't even have time to really dive into it. And the fact that it has the Lieutenant Admiral's name, which associates it with a tremendously amazing historical event. It names America Spanish. I mean,
there's more to that one, especially when it connects a treasure fleet. Now you're really having my attention. But I mean, super cool.
Yeah. Well, if you guys like incredibly beautiful and rare artifacts like this, give us a follow. More to come.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
History Roundtable, an all-new history series. Don't forget to like and share your favorite episodes. And to learn more about the artifacts on the show, visit tortugatrading.com and commodorecoins.com. Till next time.